Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm going to start off by saying this past weekend was quite emotional and had to do with a serious situation within the family and loved ones. And um, it's still ongoing and things to take care of. And so that has taken my attention. And so for today, I wasn't focused quite on what the topic was. But then I decided what it will be. And as you can see, it's on gratitude and appreciation. And I want to talk about that because I think it's so important. You know, sometimes in difficult situations or undergoing maybe depression or something difficult, it's often hard to feel grateful or appreciative. And yet, those things are probably what can help keep us above water, so to speak. And I know Harvard Health did a great study on gratitude and appreciation. And this is what they found. And I'm going to throw my glasses on for a second. It helps people feel more positive. It helps them feel more with happier emotions and relish good experiences, improve health, deal with adversity, and build strong relationships. So I'm going to break that down a little bit. It does help people feel more positive. It really does. I know in this current situation that's could be heartbreaking, but I am choosing to look at it more positively. And not that there aren't serious issues and things to consider and whatever, but I am grateful for the family, my tribe, my family, my friends, the people around who are so loving and so kind and so considerate and so caring. And right there is something that I'm right off the bat so grateful for, especially for the love that not only surrounds everybody, but is a part of everybody. And it's beautiful. And I think sometimes we can try, look at those aspects around you that you're grateful for people in your life, family and friends and whatnot. And I think that's really important, especially going through something where you have support and being grateful for the people around you. And I think that's really important. But just in general, being grateful, I think that's a real true part of a mindfulness practice. Being mindful or in the present moment when we need to shut everything out for a few minutes and sit and relax and be present in the room that we're in. And in the moment, just feel where you're sitting, feel the chair you're sitting in, or maybe the couch or the bed you're lying on, whatever the surface is, you feel it, your body feels it. And you can be grateful for it. You can say, hey, this feels great. I'm so grateful that I can relax in this chair or on my bed or wherever you are. And to take this minute to be mindful. We can always find gratitude in any moment. I think it's important to do so. Take moments in your life where you can just sit and be grateful. And I mean truly grateful. I think the next step below being grateful is appreciation, because it goes deeper. So let me give you an example of that. Like when I have moments where I can just sit in the day and not necessarily take half an hour, although I do love to do that. And I do at times take half hour, even an hour to sit in a type of meditation. But when I have moments where I can just sit and look around my room or out the window and just be grateful. Pick something in your room that you see that you didn't notice quite before, because we take everything for granted, don't we? We just kind of walk around in the house and or our apartment and not we take things for granted, don't we? But to take a moment, like I can sit here and I can look across the room and I see a certain table, very narrow table that's holding a plant, and the plant is growing. It's beautiful and the green is so lush, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful it's growing. I like the pedestal that it's on. It's someone designed that and it looks so pretty. And I can be grateful for the design of it and the person who came up with the idea of designing that pedestal that way. It's very eye-catching and it's beautiful. And that's what I mean about appreciation. It's going deeper and going past just the feeling of gratitude, but appreciating the aspects of it and behind it. It does make us happier. It does help us focus on the better things in life. So regarding the health aspects, here are a few that they studied. It does make us happier. It reduces stress. If you feel under stress or just, gosh, there's so much on your mind, take a mindful minute. Just sit, just be grateful. Think of people in your life. Think of the conveniences you may have, the food in your refrigerator, the clothes that you have, the car in your garage, or whatever it might be. Be really grateful for that you have it. What would it be like if you didn't? It does improve self-esteem. When we're grateful for ourselves, when we can look at ourselves in a healthy light and be grateful for our gifts and talents that we are aware of and that we are improving and that they're just a part of our lives, we can be grateful for that. Be grateful for who you are and all that you have accomplished and that you were able to accomplish, and who helped you accomplish your goals and dreams, your degree, your whatever. It's really cool to keep thinking that way, I believe. It also helps develop a sense of resilience in us. I think that's true. It does. You become a little more resilient to life when you're grateful about certain situations. Now, I can look back on my life. I've lived a long time. As you know, I'm a mother and my grandmother, and experienced many things, as you have, in different ways. Very difficult things. Very, very difficult things that were heart-wrenching and painful, and just, I felt like I was never going to be out of that pain and depression. But over time I did, and I grew, and I healed, and I recovered. And I can look back on that now and be grateful for that time. Of course, at the time I couldn't be. It was hard to imagine that I would have been grateful for that pain in my life. But I look back on it now and I realize, I'm like, that's the very thing that I had to go through that broke me open. And it had to. And I think many of us experience things like that in our life, where it's painful, it's difficult, we can't make sense of it, and why is this happening? But once we get through it and we grow through it and we heal, and we can look back and go, oh, I had to go through that. I don't see another way I would have grown or have become my real sense of self, understand who I am truly, and be who I am, and be grateful for who I am. I had to go through that. So it does cause a resilience. So after that, other difficult times weren't that difficult. My mindset was different and had more tools and capabilities to get through things that might have been difficult. So I'm grateful for that. We learn and we grow, and that's something to be really appreciative for. It also improves sleep. We can tend to go to bed with worries and upset, and how am I going to pay the bills? What's going to happen tomorrow? Who's doing what? How am I going to, get through that project? What will my boss think? Whatever. We go to bed with fears. And if we can turn that around with some deep breaths and concentrate on deep breaths, slow deep breaths, and concentrate on just flipping it with, what are you grateful for? What can you be grateful for that very day? Is it your car that you drove that got you around town? Is it the food in your refrigerator? Is it your children making you smile? Is it your husband or your spouse or your wife or your partner who extended a loving hand and did something special for you that day? Is it just the view you have out your window? It might be a beautiful view. Think of things that you are grateful for. It can help relieve stress as it does, and also help us sleep better when we can fall asleep with more positive things on our mind. And here's something. You can practice smiling, even if you don't feel like it. Might feel kind of odd, but the brain doesn't know the difference. And when you smile, it triggers the muscles, that triggers the brain into knowing that, oh, she has a smile on her face, that something good must be happening. And sometimes it's a relief just to smile a little bit, just for no reason. It also improves romantic relationships. It sure can, especially when we're feeling, when the familiar sits in and we take things for granted, or you feel you're taken for granted, or just taking time to go over the things that you're grateful for in your relationship and letting that person know you're grateful. That helps a lot. To be appreciated, you know what it's like. It feels good to be appreciated. And when we're grateful and appreciative for our partner, people in our lives, it builds and helps grow a healthy relationship. It really can. And yes, I think it should go both ways. Yes, I think that makes it even stronger. But maybe not wait for it to come your way. Try it another way. Try it your way. Try saying to your partner something you're grateful for them for. I think that's special. And the same for friendships. It can improve friendships as well. Something I want to stress too is, like I said, we seem to take a lot for granted in life. I know I have. And sometimes it's just normal and we get through the day and we can depend on things. And when we can depend on people and places and things, we tend to take them for granted. But sometimes I think it's a good idea to think a little more on a positive aspect of it. So in other words, you had a busy day and you need to come home and fix dinner for the family. And you're like, oh, I got to do this. Oh man, what am I going to make? And then you come up with something to make and you're like, maybe chopping vegetables or putting something in the oven. And it's like, why do I have to do this? Another way to look at it is, I get to do this. I get to make my family dinner. I have food that I can make dinner with. This is amazing. I can do this. I mean, acknowledge, yes, you're tired, you had a long day, but when we flip it, it does change the mindset to a little more positive way of thinking. Or, oh man, you go in the playroom in your home or the bedroom and the kids have toys strewn all over and you're like, I got to clean this again. Do I have to do this again? And you call the kids in and help you pick things up and organize. But another way to think of it is, I get to pick up these toys. I have these wonderful children in my life, and I get to pick up these toys. I'm grateful for these toys that make my kids happy and they can spend time playing. it can just flip that switch a little bit more so it's not such a chore. When we can have a heart of gratitude to say, I get this. I get to do this. I have these things. And I'm grateful for them. It may not make you less tired, but it might make you a little less grumpy. And I think that's really something to consider. And it does improve our health, our overall health. It does help it with our attitude and somewhat with mental health when we kind of can switch our mindset to say, gosh, I get to have, man, I have a room to clean. I have things to dust off. I have a bed that I can change sheets. I get to do this. I have clothes that I can put in the washer. I get to do the laundry. I get to wash them and take care of them and appreciate them. It really makes a difference. Remember last winter, it was one of those, it was it was sleet and cold, and the sleet started to turn into a light snow, not type of snow that stuck, but just snow, and it was wet. And I was grateful that I was home and just snuggled up and watched a movie and kind of cleared my head and finished up the dishes and went to bed. It was about midnight and I was so tired. I usually try not to go to bed that late, but it was a good movie, so I stayed up. And I got into bed and snuggled up and was so grateful. I was so warm, and I went, oh my gosh, I forgot to take the trash out. It was trash night and recycle night. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to get out of bed. Why do I have to do this? And why is it, then I was like, oh, poor me. I live by myself and I do everything, take care of everything. And I'm like, I have to get the trash out because it was pretty full. And I thought, I got to get it out. And so I was kind of like, oh. And then I talked to myself. I went, no, you get to take the trash out. You get to put your warm Uggs on and your warm down coat and go outside and take the trash out. It'll take 1 minute or 2 minutes at the best. And I started thinking that way. And then I thought, well, I'm grateful I have a trash service that comes and picks it up. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to figure out how to get rid of it. It comes and gets it. And it comes very, very early in the morning. So that's one reason why I knew I needed to get out of bed. And I did. I put my warm Uggs on and my down jacket and went outside and put trash out. And it took 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. Yeah, it was cold. It was wet. But at the same time, it was a little invigorating. And so by the time I get back in my house and hung up my coat, took my boots off, it was like, another experience to get into a warm, cozy bed. I get to get into a warm, cozy bed that I have, and I'm so grateful for. And when we can take challenging moments and change the complaint or the things we take for granted into moments to be grateful and appreciative, it might take a second, and it is a practice to do it, but when you do it, it just makes everything so much better. It makes that simple chore that we need to do seem very doable instead of daunting. Now, are there times that you're going to choose to just not do something because you are overwhelmed and tired? Sure, I get it. There are those moments. Sometimes we just need to take care of ourselves in that moment. I get it. But most times we can be grateful. We can have that attitude of, gosh, I get to do this. I'm so fortunate to have what I have. It just changes your perspective And I would love to know if this works for you. So get in touch with me. Either email me or put something down in the comments. But you'll hear me talk about gratefulness and appreciation more in smaller segments or about something else, which I think is really important. Because just like this weekend and or whatever comes up in your life that seems sad or confusing, or you're grief-stricken or confused, whatever it might be, acknowledge that. I mean, that's a reality, and we're human, and we have to. And we will feel what we feel. But when you have that moment, find what you're grateful for. Maybe it's the people around you. Maybe it's something that's keeping you cozy. Maybe it happens to be a book you can get lost in, and you're grateful for that book and the author who wrote the story that's helping you just keep your peace of mind. Even the sunshine or the rain. I live in the Pacific Northwest. The summers are glorious, just beautiful weather, beautiful sunshine. It's magnificent, and I'm grateful for it. But I also know in the winter it tends to get a little more gloomy. It does drizzle and rain, more clouds than I like. But when I remember that it's because of that we have such a beautiful state, lush, gorgeous state, magnificent trees, and the autumns that you will never see more beautiful or spectacular. I'm grateful for it. I can be grateful for the rain, just as I can for the sunshine. And I love snow. I know, I'm a geek that way. I do love snow. I love the seasons. I'm that kind of person. So, and I'm grateful for it all. And I'm grateful that you are here and that you're listening. And I'd love to know how this message might have been of service to you, or helped reminded you to have a little shift in perspective when it comes to gratefulness and gratitude. Oh, hi, Sherry. Thank you for joining. This was going to be a short one today, so I'm just about finishing up. And I'm so glad to have this on here. And I will bring up this subject more about appreciation and gratitude and why it's important and why it's a healthy benefit in our life on so many levels. And you know what else? Something I want to talk about. Sorry, I got something in my eye. All these different topics that I've been bringing up on personal growth, I'm grateful for them. And I'm grateful for the people who dug deep and studied and helped us all understand how to overcome and how to be better people, better humans. Because in essence, all of that, as we grow, our soul grows. And we're developing and growing. And it makes the spirit within us shine even more. It's always shining. But it helps lift the drab and dreary of our minds off that light, if that makes sense. That's what I hope to do for you. That's what I hope you're gaining from all this too, that the better off that we can understand ourselves and love ourselves, have a clearer mind, even forgive maybe for something. It lightens up our attitudes. It makes us lighter beings, and it does it even symbolically, spiritually. We're lights. We are lights in this world. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the people in my life who were ever glowing lights when I was going through difficult times. Because they saw the light in me, but it was covered. And they loved me through certain situations that really helped me. And I'm really grateful for that in my life. And I know I can only imagine in your life as well, going through difficult times, people around you that supported you or helped you. That's what it's all about, really. It's helping one another, being a great example for one another in love and kindness and compassion. I know we can't fix things for people necessarily. We can't even rescue them necessarily. But we can be supportive and loving and non-judgmental. And I'm grateful for that understanding and that concept in life. I know it's changed me. It's changed my approach to other people and other situations, especially this past weekend. You know when you go through something really, really, really difficult in life, it's so painful and you think you just can't deal. You're broken open in a million pieces. You're exposed everywhere. You don't even know which piece to pick up first. But as I referenced earlier, we do heal. We do grow. We do learn. And we are grateful because we're on the other side and we can see that was very necessary. Well, I don't know what's more painful, me going through that pain or watching someone else go through that pain, someone I love dearly. But in that, I can see the other side for them if they can't. I can know that it will get better and that change will come and healing will take place. And that's what I'm grateful for. That's what I'm grateful for this moment. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for this day and what it's going to bring. I don't know, but I'm ready. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. See you Friday. And Friday, I'm hoping if I have to go out of town, I will leave a quick video that I need to leave and I can't be here, but I'm hoping to be here Friday. And what I want to do is talk about my spiritual life, the evolution, and how did I get to mediumship? How did that happen in my life? So I think I'm going to go ahead and talk about that and go deep. And I hope you share with your friends to join in. It's really an interesting topic. And there might be others who are like, ooh, I've had that experience. I wonder what that means. Or someone's curious about their own spirituality or their own, maybe I am psychic or maybe I am mediumistic. What do I do with it? So that's what I want to talk about. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you Friday. Blessings to you. Bye for now.